Hi, welcome to the Gettysburg 150th Anniversary Reenactment. My name's Howard Taylor. I'm a farmer from Harney, Maryland, and I'm a member of the Harney Relief Society. We're here today to let you know what it was like in the aftermath of the battle here in July of 1863. So let's take a little tour through our camp, and we'll just give you a quick historical trip of what happened here on those days. Let's walk along. You see here we have our sign. We also have a wounded soldier laying around, or he's just tired, I think. We're not sure. Let me hit him with this cane and see if he's moving here. Let's start it now. Yeah, he's alive. Okay. We're a relief society. There were many relief societies during the war. Small towns. You think about Hurricane Sandy nowadays and how people get together to come to relief of those that are in need. That's what your relief societies did. The town of Harney is located just south of Gettysburg on the Town Pike. So there was a lot of traffic through that area prior to the battle, during the battle, and after the battle, with transporting supplies and wounded back and forth to Westminster and Baltimore and the local area there to get them the aid and relief that they needed. After the battle, when the armies left, there was a lot of wounded men that were still here, and things had to be cleaned up. You can imagine the stench from the blood, the wounds, the wounded soldiers, the limbs and all that were amputated and everything, and it's just a horrible thing. You just really can't imagine what it was like. Our camp, we would have been set up. Basically, a lot of the ladies in the local communities would get together. They would hold, prior to this, to form these societies, there was, and to keep them going, they would hold bake sales, try to raise funds to support local militias as they were leaving to go out to battle, and they were called into the service for their country. We'll just show you quickly here what we have in the camp. We'll just walk around here. Over here, here's our tent, our canopy. We're just set up with the table. We would do cooking, try to feed wounded soldiers or whatever, just help nurse them back. We would make bandages, maybe even as they got a little better and were just about ready, the survivors that had made it through the battle and they were ready to maybe be released from the hospitals and all that, they needed new uniforms, things like that, or shirts or socks repaired, darned, whatever they call it. We would take care of that. Over here is our, we walk through here. Here's a soldier sitting around doing some sewing on his own. He's just waiting to hear from his family, maybe. He might sit around and sew and mend his clothing or do stuff like that, or even write a letter. If he couldn't write a letter, he'd find someone that could, to write a letter back home to his loved ones. Here's a tripod that we would use for cooking over the fire, holding pots, cast iron pots. We can get a sound there. This is a hope stove. Basically what this was, we would dig a hole in the ground and this stove sat over top the hole. Smoke pipe, the worst thing, anybody that's ever camped around a campfire, is the smoke always gets in your eyes. Well, this here keeps the smoke above, so you can see what you're cooking. We would just feed wood into the front of it, and basically it was iron, bent iron, and we had a real good flat cooking surface, and you could actually almost control your temperature by where you had the fire in there. Coffee pot, wash basin. We may be washing clothes, washing dishes, whatever we had to do. Another fire spot, we could cook stuff on that, heat stuff on it. You walk over here. Here's some more people that helped us. Even the children got involved in this. Right now they're a little tired, This is Jordan. This is Ray Wetzel. Ethan's hiding down there. That's the donut man, Mr. Muffinhead or Mr. Watermelon. This is Haley. And the children were involved. This was a thing, it was a family thing. We all came out to help out, There was even other children, that were displaced by the battle and all. So they could help keep their mind off the hardships they were going through. This over here would be a small camp. This is a little camp set up by about 5 soldiers. They called these shebangs. 2 shelter halves. They set it up. The guys, pretty much everything they had was here with them. You know, they might have a blanket and a rubber cloth, ground cloth, just to lay on. There's cooking fire. Here's a piece of bacon, salt pork. Doesn't look very appetizing, but when you didn't have anything, you ate what you could. That would be a delicacy to these guys if they found some on their own. Here's some of the weapons that they would use. They had them stacked up when they were in bivouac. Here's a display of some items that a soldier may have carried in his haversack. You know, cup, pictures of loved ones from back home, bullet mold, some hardtack, some gloves, wallet, medicine, poker chips, playing cards, binoculars, harmonica, jar of honey, a couple tomatoes that he probably stitched from somebody's garden on his way up here, and his lantern, little candle there. So we hope this just gives you a real quick walk through our camp, what we do, and we're just here to help the soldiers, you know, those in need, you know, be they Confederate or Union. You know, we are a Southern outfit, and we're just trying to, well, that's where our leanings are, is to the south, even though we do live here in Harney, Maryland, and which is just south of the line here of Gettysburg, just a little south of where this horrible battle took place. It's such a memorable part of the history of our country. We just thank you and just pray that we can keep this alive, and that everyone will remember the sacrifice that the brave men of the North and the South gave during that conflict. Thank you.